Hi, it's Agnes. I wanted to talk about the collapsing space and time thing because I realized it's actually part of one of the courses I did and it's not a YouTube on its own right. So I'm going to go through what that is and what it means so I can stick it in the other YouTube I just did about seeking. So, Joseph Murphy in The Power of the Conscious Mind talked about collapsing space and time, okay? Now, he gave an example, and I'm going to modify it because it'll just be a bit more 2017. If you say live in, let's use Europe this time as an example. You live in Europe, you've got one side of Europe, you've got the other side, okay? Big continent. Now, if you were to go across that continent from one side to the other, if you walked, it might take you 4 months, for example. So that distance will take you that much time, okay? So think of Europe again, the continent of Europe, and you're going to go from one side to the other, but this time you're going to go by plane and you're going to fly. So what you're going to do is get there in 3 to 4 hours. So what you've done is you've collapsed that space down from four months down to 4 hours. So you're collapsing the space and the time. Okay? Now, in manifesting anything that you want to collapse the space and time, as in that you get something quicker, and you collapse the space between you and the thing that you want. A specific person, a car, a trip, a job, more money, whatever it is. You want to get rid of the gap between the two things, you over here and that thing over there. Okay? So, the way that you do that in manifesting is you do a lot of imagining, the Neville Goddard way, living from it, living in the end, living in the wish fulfilled, and you've got to embody the new state, which means the feeling of having, okay? So you can do that. You do self-love. As you do any self-love meditations, any self-love affirmations, any self-love self-talk during the day, that also puts you in a much better vibration, in a much better attracting state. You're in a much better magnet, because if you are in lack of love, lack of being wanted, feeling insecure, feeling negative emotion in any way, what happens is it drops your manifesting capability. You're still manifesting, but you're manifesting stuff you don't want. I'm talking about manifesting the stuff that you do want, okay? So the self-love, you can also do anything that makes you feel good, anything that's even unrelated to the law of attraction, anything in terms of hobbies, music, dancing, playing a sport, being in meditation, watching YouTubes, reading inspiring stuff. Those are just some things off the top of my head that make you feel good, and you can add to that because you know, some people play piano or like to go running in the woods, whatever it is. Everybody's got their own little list of things. So that in its own right, even though it's not technically a law of attraction thing or a technique, it is, like Abraham Hicks says, it lifts your vibe. Anything that lifts your vibe then releases resistance, takes the handbrake off of all the stuff that you haven't got, and it rushes in to get you. So yeah, those sorts of things collapse space and time, okay? And sitting in meditation, and surrendering, I want to mention surrender because people have said to me through this week of coaching people, a few people have said repeatedly the same thing. I don't understand, Agnes. I'm told to focus and send love and energy to something, then I'm told to let go. It's like, well, which one do I do, and how do I know when to do each one? What you're doing is you're focusing on the desire, and you don't ever let go of that. But what you do is you let go of the angst, the anger, the how's it going to happen, the resentment, the why is this taking so long? How can I get this thing? I'm not happy unless I get it. Okay, you got to be happy here and make peace with here, which Abraham Hicks talks about a lot. And then you do the Neville Goddard thing of imagining what you want, living in the wish fulfilled. So you're combining people's things, okay? Take the best of everything and pick out the stuff that you want, that you really resonate with, and do that, okay? So I think I've gone the whole way around the circle, but yeah, I wanted to explain that collapsing time and space because it's really important. And if you want to read Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, it's got some really good manifesting stories in it. And yeah, that's it for today.